What's up everyone, I'm Matt, welcome to my channel. So back in 2021 when I first started flying FPV, yes I have been doing this that long, I actually started with a little beta FPV ready to fly kit. I've been looking for some photos or something from when I first started, but the earliest photo I could find was this. Now you'll see there in the middle bit there, that's the original pair of box goggles I got in the kit. Now it was which one was it? It was the little brushed 1S Whoop drone with the, I think it was one of the first ones beta FPV released. Now, fantastic little bit of kit, and you know, for the time it was okay. Got me into the hobby anyway, so which, you know, I wouldn't be where I am now without that. So I was very, very excited when Beta FPV asked me if I wanted to take a look at one of the latest kits. So in this video, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the Beta FPV Cetus X kit. Now, obviously, I know this isn't a brand new kit. It's been out for a while now. But I kind of wanted to have a look at it, really, just to sort of see how things have moved on from when I first started, you know, learning to fly. Now, there's actually two versions of this kit you can get. There's the Betaflight one, which is the kit I've got, because I think for beginners, because, you know, most of the quads you're going to fly are probably going to be Betaflight based. So I think it's a good idea to get that one. At least then it gives you a bit of an understanding. You can actually plug it into Betaflight and have a bit of a mess about with it. Now the other version, I think it's Betaflight's own custom operating system. Now it does have its advantages with that one. On the quad it actually has a sensor underneath, so it's got like altitude hold and stuff like that. So again, it kind of depends what you're after. That's probably a good way to get into like FPV after coming from camera drones. But me personally, I think you're best off getting the standard Betaflight one. At least then, you know, everything's manual. You sort of learn by doing it and pissing about with it, really. So, right, we're not going to do a full unboxing here. I'll quickly put on the screen now some of the stuff you get in the kit. We'll power it up. We'll give it a little fly in my little tiny house, and then we'll take it outside and give it a rip outside and see where it goes like. So, right, let's go. Right, so like I say, we're not going to do a full unboxing here, but I just want to have a quick look at what you actually get in the package. Now, one thing I do like with Beta FPV starter kits, you always get a fantastic case, really good case. So, right, crack it open, and you can see everything you get there. Obviously, quick start guide, won't be needing that. I like how everything's tied in nicely and all. And I am genuinely surprised at the size of that quad. Let me have a look at that. I think that's 2-inch propellers on that. Let me just grab me Whoop. Now this is the Beta FPV Air 65, so you can see there's a massive difference there. Now the original kit I had before was a 65mm Whoop with brush motors, so you can definitely see this bad boy's a lot bigger, and it's 2S, as you can see underneath there. I really like that canopy actually. Now it's adjustable. That looks like your VTX antenna sticking out the back there. I think your camera's actually all in one VTX. Yeah, the quad itself looks nice. What else we got here? Oh, like little silicone gimbal protectors there, quite nice. And this is the light radio, I forget which version it is. Now, it does actually feel not bad, that, and the gimbals don't feel too bad. Obviously that's your head strap there, I won't attach that just yet. And these are your goggles. Actually feel quite nice then, they're nice and small, very light. Now I do like the fact that you've got a little antenna on the side there, which is a bonus. I don't know whether that's the only antenna or whether it's actually got an antenna in the front screen, I'm not sure. But there is a couple of nice little features with this. Nice little power switch there. I'll try turning that on. Oh, there you go. Difficult to sort of get a good image there, but you can see the screen there. Turn that back off. Obviously these are rechargeable and all, so I'm assuming that's your power port for recharging. You've got your menu buttons, your search buttons, your DVR record button, which is nice to see as well, so you can actually record some of your flights. And yeah, that'll be your memory card slot there as well. So yeah, right, the last thing we'll look at is this little bag here. Actually see what you get inside this. We've got a set of props. Looks like a tool, prop tool remover, a screwdriver, and a USB connection dongle thing in there. Well, it looks like you actually get a couple more lipos. Like I say, this is 2S, and I've actually got, yeah, there are actually 2 batteries on there, so you get 4 batteries with it, which is nice to see. That is your USB charger, if I'm not mistaken, and that also, as well, doubles up as a battery checker. So yeah, this little battery charger is actually a pretty cool little gizmo. You can see there you can charge 2 batteries, USB-C powered, which is nice to see. And you probably noticed there, one of the plugs actually says test on. It'll focus, and the reason for that is this. So if you plug a LiPo into the port that says test, you actually get a readout on the screen there telling you what voltage that battery is. So yeah, that'll actually come in really, really handy. Then you've got your USB cable and your little card. So alright, we'll get everything charged up, and then we'll take this bad boy for a little flight around the house. Right, so we're all charged up now. Just one thing I want to do before we go out and fly, and that's say thank you to my patrons. So massive thanks to Tegrity Frank. Your support means a lot, mate. It really does. Helps to keep this shit show running. If any of you guys want to support the channel for as little as £1 a month, there's links down in the video description to my Patreon. Depending on what tier you are, what tier you get, I'll say your name in my video. I'll even wash your car and maybe even walk your dog for you. So yeah, massive thanks to those that are supporting me, because there is a few people that aren't in the Say My Name tier, and I appreciate you a lot as well. So yeah, links down in the video description. That's enough shilling from me. Let's go out and fly this quad. Right, so here we are in the park. A slight change to what we were going to do. I did film a little bit of flying stuff in the house, but this being like a 2-inch quad, you didn't really get the... Oh, I didn't really have the room really to do what it was capable of. So what I thought we'd do is come to the park. Bit more room here, you see, just to fly it about. So I'm sat on a bench on my own like a pedo. So, right, a couple of changes I want to do in this video though. Now, I am going to be using my Fat Shark goggles to fly this quad. Not that there's anything wrong with the standard box goggles, it's just I need glasses obviously, and I have my corrective lenses in my Fat Sharks when I struggle to sort of see that screen properly with these. But just to give it a bit more of a fairer view, I am going to record the DVR in these, so what you see DVR wise is going to be coming from these. So right, let's get the quad powered up, take it for a fly. Right, so just while we're having a fly around here, I'll go through some of the specs a little bit more in depth, because during the unboxing I sort of glossed over a lot of things really. So, right, starting with the radio. So this is the Light Radio 3. It's Express LRS. I think it's running version 3.0. It's got 3 power settings, 25, 50 and 100 milliwatts. So not massive power, but enough to, you know, get you by flying whoops, I would have thought. It's got a 1S 2000 milliamp hour battery in the back, which will last you, what, 15 hours, I think it said, something like that. It's also got a module bay on the back, which is quite cool. Allows you to put some nano modules on. I've actually got some of them for a future video from betafpv and all. And also with this, you can plug it into the simulator, which is quite handy. So, moving on to the goggles. These are the VR03 goggles. A few little interesting things with these. They've got a 4.3 inch 800x480 screen. I think they've got the same 1S 2000 milliamp hour battery in them as the controller. But obviously because these are powering a bright screen, I think the run time on this is about 2 hours. Or I think it said an hour and a half at recording. And also, yeah, I said recording there because it has got that micro SD card slot on the side to record your DVR, which is, well, it's what you're watching now. I think the max size card you can get in that's 64 gig, I think. Now, one of the cool little things about the side of these goggles is the little foldable antenna that you see there. That actually screws off, and you can replace that with any other antenna you want, really. A little patch antenna or an Omni or anything like that, which is pretty cool little feature. So lastly, really, last thing to talk about is the quad itself that I'm flying around. So obviously, yeah, this is the Cetus X quad. It's a 2S. It's got 1103 11,000 kV motors running 2-inch gem fan props. It's the betafpv CO4 camera. Now the VTX on this is, I think it's a maximum of 400 milliwatts. I believe it's 2500 and 200 and 400 milliwatts, I think, something like that. Relatively like this for a 2-inch. It's 55 grams without the battery. And the flight control that's in it is an F4 15 amp all-in-one. So that's kind of it really. Right, so there we go. That was a few packs there on the quad. Time to go home now and give you my thoughts. Right, so we're back home now. And one thing I did forget to talk about while we were out flying was flight time. So I've been flying this for on and off now for a couple of weeks really, using the standard 450 mAh batteries you get in the pack. And I've been getting anywhere from sort of like, I don't know, 3 to 3.5, sometimes 4 minutes at a slow cruise. But then something's literally just occurred to me there really, which was this. You know, I could use them batteries. They're the 450 high volt batteries what I have on me Air 75s, stuff like that. I've even got some 550 high volt lipos that fit in this tray as well. I've already tried them in just to make sure that they'll work. Oh, they fit straight in like the. Well, actually, I must have bent that one in a crash some point. But trust me, 2 of them do fit in. And I've already checked on Betaflight. It's configured to take 4.35. You won't get any warnings or out. So yeah. So obviously, if you do use them, you will get more flight time because you've got more power. So just one more thing to add there. Right. So I suppose the last thing to talk about is what I actually think of the kit. Impressed. That's all I can say really. Comparing that to what I started with 4 years ago, that it's in a whole different class. That it's literally got everything you need. The control is pretty decent. Like I say, you can use it on the sim and you can configure it to use with other quads, so it can grow with you. You will be slightly limited with the milliwatts power that comes out of it. It's 100 milliwatts, so you're not going to get massive distance. But I dare say once you start growing into the hobby, you might end up with something a little better, like the Radiomaster GX12, which I have there. I've also got a Boxer in a pocket. So the goggles, well, I always have a slight issue with box goggles, as I said previously, you know, because I wear glasses. I struggle to see properly, and it's very few sets of box goggles that'll actually go over people's glasses. I know there's options with inserts and stuff like that, but as the standard kit goes, you know, you might struggle with, depending on your prescription. But other than that, quality-wise, I can't complain really. When I have put them on to try what they're like, they feel comfortable. They're really super light. They have well, just about every feature you'll need really, you know, full range of channels, you know, you're not limited that way. And DVR recording, which is always a big good thing really, because you know we all like to post our footage showing off our skills, or lack thereof, if you come to me. Yeah, the quad, it's kind of a strange one really. So it's not going to be a freestyle ripper, put it that way. You'll probably notice as you fly it, and what I know I did when I was flying it, it feels very stable in the air, even when I had it in air mode, which I always fly it in air mode, so I'm just used to it. It really, really felt planted. It felt like it was super sort of, it almost felt like it was still in angle mode at some points, because it was that level. Well, I suppose that's a good thing really. You don't want it to feel unstable in the air. But, and again, yeah, it will grow with you. You can bind it to other controllers and put other batteries in and stuff like that. But I do think you'll outgrow it pretty quick. Once you get a taste for FPV, you sort of start risking it for the biscuit type of thing. You know, you're doing tricks and stuff like that. And when it comes to a big whoop, you are going to be limited performance-wise. It won't be long before you're wanting a 5-inch quad to smash up in a bando somewhere. But as an overall kit, I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I do highly recommend it for beginners. So that's kind of it for this video really. Hope you enjoyed it. If you are thinking about buying this kit, there's links down in the video description to betafpv's website. Now, 100% transparency, that is an affiliate link. So what that means is if you click that and make a purchase, doesn't matter what you buy anything through that link, I'll get a small commission. It doesn't cost you a penny. But it's a great way to support the channel, and it allows betafpv to sort of think about sending me other stuff to review, so it's good for me and good for you if you like watching my content. But what I will do, because I know some people are not keen on using affiliate links, I'll put the link to the betafpv website below that, and I'll mark them clearly so you know which is an affiliate link and which isn't, so it's entirely up to you which one you want to use. So that's it then. Thanks for watching this video. If you did find it entertaining and useful, please think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. If you have bought this kit, by the way, and you think I've forgot to mention something that you think's rather important about it, please let me know down in the video, not the video description, I mean the bloody comments. God, it's been a long day. Anyway, right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.